we gave that for 6 months, and now they open another support that I applied to try if I get some. I don't know how much they will going to pay,
Mm-hmm.
but even for the support for children, it's crazy low.
Yeah.
Like imagine a 2-year-old child, the parents receive not, I think not even 200 euros per
Mm-hmm.
month. You can't even pay a school with that.
And do you have any
Um,
idea, like what, like from your perspective, how you see it? You've grown up there. You're fully Portuguese, all that stuff. Like, why is that? Like, is Portugal really poor? Is that why there is no money, or like, how do you see this?
yes, Portugal is poor. And what happened when you enter the Europe Union? Um, Firstly, because we got money, uh, they spent that money in making roads, just that.
Yeah.
And because of I think the import and export laws of Europe, they had to end up with fishing,
Mm.
like in other like agriculture. They paid for the farmers to stop producing because of the imports and export laws. So we don't export much. We only export like talent because
Mm-hmm.
we are fleeing away. Um, that's why we are the poorest. We have not the lowest. I think of the lowest. Um, Help me, the minimum wage
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I fell out of my chair when I
Yeah.
at first, I was like, what is it? But for you personally, because yeah, as you were mentioning, you're a freelancer, you're a designer, you're an artist, you make beautiful work. Like it's really, do you feel, and I think also a lot of your clients are international, not necessarily Portuguese people, but
Yeah.
do you still get, are you still happy to be in Portugal and making your work there, or do you also feel like, I feel many people, especially your age, people I've known there, friends of mine, friends of Miguel, they all kind of left Portugal at least for a few years to make some money
Hmm.
and come back. Like, do you feel you get kind of driven out as well because you just can't manage to be there?
Yeah, actually, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I tried to go. Uh, I was trying to go to Paris, or London, but I didn't get any job. So
Mhm.
I can't go like I'll go and then I figure it out. But
Yeah.
no, I need to
Yeah.
get right before go.
Hmm.
But yeah, I feel I could have more opportunities outside Portugal, like many of my friends did. Some of them came back, some of them stayed there. Um, Now even with Brexit, this is going to
Yeah.
be crazy now. And but yeah, I'm always feeling. Of course, it's uh, I'm also scared about leaving everything because I need to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I'm always thinking about
Yeah.
leaving and always looking for uh, clients from another countries. Because in Portugal it's crazy. They ask you for a code for a job, and they don't even thank you. They don't even
Yeah.
answer your. You spend a lot of time making that code to send them the proposal for the job, and they don't even thank you.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And
That's
and
difficult.
even you always need to deal with the price and low low the price for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
definitely that, and it's such I mean, for me it's definitely a shame, because I think Portugal is a beautiful country, people are beautiful, and I mean, even Lisbon as a city is just incredible. And definitely what you're saying, I think culturally it's growing a lot. Like, there's lots of great projects and events happening now, and even just us being there for a few years, I've really seen it grow. But also for me, like, I definitely, and I see it for Miguel as well, and you and many Portuguese friends that I have, it's like you just can't manage to financially, have a life there that, you're all,
yeah,
I
it's
mean, we were
impossible.
struggling to the bone every freaking day, and it was just pissing me off in the end, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, uh, with a minimum wage, you can't even pay rent
no, that's the
of
thing.
a house.
Yeah, yeah,
It's impossible.
yeah, yeah. It's the same for
Almost
me.
not yeah, not for a room. It's and with the prices now, they are crazy. In Lisbon, even in the suburbs, it's it's impossible. It's impossible to live.
Yeah,
You only survive here,
yeah, that's the thing.
unless you,
And that,
yeah,
that
unless you
requires
have a great job.
that requires a certain person too, I feel, or at least, you need to have a specific personality to be able to really cope with that. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody, and again, it is a shame, but I also feel like the wages are not in line with what the rent is like, at least in Holland.
No.
Yeah, rent is high, but the wages are also way better. So,
Hmm.
it's in comparison, it's like doable. If you have a job here that doesn't pay so well, it's okay, because you can also rent something that isn't, like the prices are just a little bit more in line. Um,
Yeah.
and this is the last question, and then we really need to move on, because otherwise we could talk about this forever, which we usually do. There was someone once told me when I was in Portugal, like, yeah, but it's not the Portuguese people. She felt, she was an older person living in Portugal, who felt a little bit pushed out by all the, the expats and all these people coming into to Portugal, and especially Lisbon, which I think happened in a lot of big cities like Amsterdam, New York,
Hmm.
where
Yeah.
people from the outside come in, then go and buy all these places or rent places, and then because of that, rent goes up. Do you feel that too? Like, is it really sort of the non-Portuguese people pushing the Portuguese out of their own country?
The problem is not the non-Portuguese people, is the Portuguese people receiving those new business like the Airbnb and stuff. What happened like 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Uh, Even my friends who have like this fabulous house close to the castle. My friend's great grandmother lived there,
Mm-hmm.
but the house was rented. But the landlords wanted to sell the building, all the building, for renting, uh, short term renting, and that happens all town or in and how the market and the Portuguese deals with it was rising even more the rents to make more money with the expats.
Hmm.
So without thinking about us, about the Portuguese who are
Yeah, exactly.
struggling.
So what you're saying, like, nearly prioritizing expats over Portuguese people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's definitely.
And
I've definitely seen that happen.
even
Yeah.
yeah, even basic stuff like groceries, it's really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy like a lot. You go to the supermarkets or uh, electricity and water are are way too expensive
Mm-hmm.
for the minimum wage. Yeah, or you have family money or you are screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I found with you is that I find that you find some really creative ways of, well, selling yourself, but also, you know, like I also would love to talk about like how can people support you? Well, first of all, they can go to you and to your page and buy your art, which, you know, listeners, please go and check it out because I think your work is amazing and you have beautiful masks that you're making. I mean, you're so smart and creative of jumping on, okay, I'm going, you know, changing with my time. But I think once you said something like, if you don't want to buy my art, buy me a cup of coffee or something, like what was that, Maria?
Yeah, that's a website where you can support uh, artists or podcasts or I don't know, everyone who makes buy me a coffee. The website is called buymeacoffee.com, I guess.
Cool.
And people can support you with at least €3. It's a minimum,
Mm.
€3 or even more. Like one coffee is €3.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you can buy me like a print, an illustration, you can at least buy me a coffee to support my
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
There are a few websites like Buy Me a Coffee. I think there's another website called Coffee. It's coffee with a K.
Hmm.
And yeah, we need to be creative to survive at this
Yeah.
time.
Because that's definitely also something that I wanted to ask you to share with us and also the listeners. Like, I definitely feel we were even speaking about this in a yoga series that I did very recently of like yoga and business and how do you sell yourself. And, you know, as a self employed teacher, and you also, of course, are a self employed freelance artist, like we always have. I mean, I sometimes joke about, you know, being the Instagram, you know, freaking prostitute in a way, but always having to
Yeah.
sell yourself, always having to sell yourself. How do you
Always.
feel about it, and do you have any tips for people who are in the same boat as us?
I wish I wish I could have tips that are working well for me. But I don't. I've been really creative, like you say. I'm trying to get noticed.
You are very
Yeah, I did it.
persistent. You have to give you that, Maria. Be persistent. That's definitely something that you
Yeah,
are. You just don't give up. Like no matter what, you're there. I think you're there nearly every day, sharing some story or some kind of creative way of,
yeah. I'm
you know.
I'm always there. I don't know what doesn't work, but it's like I need that one person who has like a million followers. Just give me a shout out or something like that. That's the only way uh, you can grow and be shown to more people.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
can.
every day I do. I even use Lolita, that is my dog,
Yeah, same.
to
Same.
call more people. But the algorithm, Instagram, it's crazy how they're censoring even artists and everyone, not only artists, but
Hmm.
it's exhausting sometimes. And lately I've even made some videos. I was just begging, share my work, share
What
my
you
post.
what you're just mentioning as well is I think a lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know, because it's definitely what you were saying, like, oh yeah, you have someone with a crazy amount of followers then putting you on and then all of a sudden you get more followers. It's kind of how it works. This is how it works
Yeah.
within the system in a way. But do you feel, even though of course you would like to have more followers and you would like to, but do you feel, are you getting like clients through everything that you're putting out there?
I have, but they are not. It's just a few,
Yeah. It's not enough.
and they are always the same. Not speaking my friends, of course, but and
This
you see
boring
there.
Carol, like she keeps like, man, I just want her. She should go. Get her away from me.
Yeah. And I can see when they ignoring my stories when I post too much.